Hello and welcome to Reflections, episode 45, The Van Tour.
The reason it's called the van tour, so we were camping in Bastrop. It's the first time camping in Bastrop with the dogs and Smoosh, the cat. But we were comfortable enough in the van at this point that we decided to do a little van tour video, which we posted a while ago. It's our most popular video on YouTube. But yeah, so that's why we called it the van tour, because it was for us the van tour trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's additional context around it, so there's videos that we've already went on adventures. I've made some videos about them already, but this just adds context in front and behind the footage, I guess.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry about that. Okay. This is the practice. Go there, do that intro. Instead of worrying about how I am on camera and how I look or what I'm doing, I'm just going to start doing things because that's better than nothing, I think. There was an expression I heard. It was, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. What's an example of that? You could be watching right now. Okay. Hi, my name's Ethan, and I started a thing called Go There, Do That. What is it? Okay. Hi, my name's Ethan Lakeford, and I started Go There, Do That. What Go There, Do That is just basically a family vlog adventure. Just a little piece of our lives that I wanted to share with you. I wanted a corner of the internet to document the things that I'm doing or I'm interested in, and I wanted to have an interesting name. I just recounted the events and little memories that Heather and I have both shared together, and we haven't been there and done a whole lot. And so I said, let's just go there and do that thing, yada yada. I started a thing. We have a cool logo. Also, not enough credit is given to my dear wife. I might make the videos and talk a lot in them, but without her, none of these trips would be possible because she is a very good planner and she finds all the routes and places. And I'm going to try to offer, it's mostly going to be unique experiences that we have. I think that is the direction I want to go with this. We have 2 dogs that we bring. We have a van, one of those cool camper vans. We have a cat that goes in a backpack with us. All these things are, I think it would be wrong not to share with people. You know, I love telling stories to people, but I don't always do that with the camera. But I think I'm going to start doing that now. This is Go There, Do That, LLC. Just me building up confidence, I guess. Because within the context of it being 2021 and we're recording this in 2026, there was a lot between now and then, and we didn't really know what this was. Still developing. I have these moments in perspectives and stuff where we just kind of say, what is this? Why are we doing this? And then I do say one definition here where I'm like, oh, it's just like a family vlog. And yeah, and then we do this van tour. I'm going to let it play. But it is cool seeing footage of me that I'm willing to share with the world, because I am saying here, I'm not going to care about how I look or really what I say, as long as I'm still doing. It matters as long as you're doing stuff, is what I'm telling myself in the past
which is a message to me now, which is cool because I didn't look at this footage until just like a couple of weeks ago. So, but yes, the van tour is playing now, and that's me talking on camera more, saying, "Let's go ahead."
Yeah.
And then you give the tour. But yeah.
Well, but we're both like figuring out how to do it like in our own way, like not modeled after like something else we saw, or kind of like relieving the pressure of that. Like, what is it supposed to be? You know. Because there's plenty of videos out there that are like, you know, reviewing a state park or like teaching how to camp and stuff, and yeah, that wasn't the direction we went. We just kind of started to realize that we kind of just wanted to live our lives and watch it back, I guess. But there is a beauty in that, but I also understand that that's probably why it's not viral. Because we're just two people hanging out.
Yeah.
You know? But I think it's very nice. I'm glad we have it.
Yep.
But yeah, this like van tour is like the old version of it, which is basically this, but it's just this part of the video, like the van tour video that we made, and posted, and it's like the most popular video we have. But yeah, we still, honestly, like when we were rewatching this, I was like, oh, I haven't like changed the arrangement too much. Like at this point, we kind of did have a lot, like I kind of had a lot of it figured out of like how to use it, where to put things. You know, there's been different variations here and there, but honestly, it's just like, even now, like 5 years later, it still like makes a lot of sense to me. Like this van in particular, we did a lot of research before we pulled the trigger. Maybe not as much research as some people would have done, but enough research for us that we knew what we were getting into, and that it was gonna like check all the boxes that I wanted. But yeah, it's kind of funny to hear me talk about like some of the mods and stuff, like the paper towel mod I was so proud of, and it's literally just like heavy duty command strips up there, which do melt in the heat, so it's no longer there. Most of the little hookies and things that I had like aren't there, like that thing by the bathroom, not there anymore. Wasn't a good idea to put it there because the bathroom, it like made the magnet, we had to like redo the magnet down at the bottom and stuff because it like wouldn't close quite all the way. But it would have been cool if it worked out there, because that was like a good spot for it and everything, but it didn't work out staying there, and I still use it, but it's just like moved to the back.
Yep.
But yeah, just I guess like giving a overview of the van. So far we've seen the dining room and the kitchen. Now we're in the bathroom, and then this is the garage. So.
Yeah, and you're saying this in the video as well.
Yeah, exactly. Bedroom's right there.
I think it's just difficult to like believe in what you're doing, even though you haven't figured out every step.
Yeah.
Along the way. That's what I think this video sort of represents for me, is like, you know what, we're going to talk about the van because we have been using it. Like we do know the ins and outs of it a little better now, but just.
Yeah, like relieving ourselves of like the pressure that like we're supposed to be experts on something, like that you don't have any like perspective or value or like feedback to share that is valuable if you're not like a certified expert. Like, I don't know, that's just like how the internet feels sometimes, you know, or life can feel like that sometimes, where it's like, well, if you haven't gone to school for this, or you don't have 20 years experience about this, and you say like one thing wrong, like, well, actually that's a, R2 whatever screw, I don't know. And it's like, okay. But that's just like how it feels sometimes. And so like we felt I felt scared to like talk about stuff sometimes because I'm like, somebody's gonna be up there like, actually. But it's like learning that I have some value in like what we're talking about. Either way, even if we're not experts, like you said at the beginning, like I'm just gonna kind of do it and see where it goes, and and not be afraid of that, which is hard to do.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrifying to just do something without knowing every step
Yes.
that's going to be taken along the way. That's kind of, I mean, it is a family vlog, but that's like, why are we making it so vast in its presentation? Like, why is...
Well, you have the skills.
Yes.
That's a big part of it, is that it's like something that you like to do already. And then you have that, you're bringing that skill into this. So then it's like a family vlog, but it looks like very professionally done because you are a professional.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what we're doing, and it's kind of tricky sometimes to understand, but it really is that simple.
Yeah.
And it's worth watching for me, but I really do like all this, how we're just trying to make something out of it.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm like never giving very specific. I'm like, I don't know, you just follow the directions on the thing. Like, I can't tell you, I don't have it memorized in like which direction the little knobs go. Like, I'm going to be like, and then you turn them here to do this. I'm just like, the directions are there. So if you buy one, you could probably figure it out. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
Because that's what we did. Like, we knew some stuff, but a lot of it's just that you're going to have to figure it out along the way. But that's just kind of how life is. But I guess I did learn a lot about that from like Go There, Do That, because my personality was very much like, I didn't want to do something unless I felt like I could be good at it, or like knew what to do, kind of had an idea of like what the outcome might be, and that's just like not a realistic way to like be living life. And before we like started this, there were a lot of things I wasn't super happy with in life, and so I think this helped me kind of like change that groove in my brain to be like, you don't have to know everything, you can just kind of like try it out and see how it goes. I still am very like prepared, and like a good problem solver, so like most of the time, we're not gonna flop on our faces. So,
and even if you do, you can recover from it. I think the main core that keeps this together is the willingness to keep trying, even though it gets harder sometimes, and it gets easier. Like, some decisions come instant, like you don't even decide.
Yeah.
And then some decisions require like waiting, and that's been difficult for me to like figure out at this point in reflections, because I was thinking we were just going all the time in this stage in our lives, which I'm very happy about, because I mean, we have more that we've lived.
We needed to move.
Yes. Yeah.
we definitely needed to move.
And then now it's like those parts of life do show up again, but I'm very glad. It feels like a cleansing, like to be able to see these again, and it's like reassuring that our past selves were so determined just to be ourselves here. I don't know. It's like
it gives you motivation to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, why would I betray her?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, you look at how much you were trying, or at least for me, like I was trying my best. But
to be me, like not trying your best to do something for anybody else, but just like to keep myself in all of this and figure out who I was and like what I want.
Yeah. And there doesn't have to be like a strict definition exactly of what you want. Again, it's just in the state of doing and being and you were reading Into the Wild, like that was a timestamp for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember you reading that book, but I didn't know when.
Yeah.
In time. But that's about Chris McCandless, who goes to Alaska, and he dies there, but he went by himself. And then a quote from him that resonated with me was, how's it go? Happiness isn't real unless it's shared. And so I take that as share your happiness with someone, and that's sort of what it is now. We're sharing it with each other and our dogs. And this is like one of the only hikes we went on during this visit. But we did go back to see the water fountain. In the episode, Our Return to Bastrop, in Perspectives, we go to this water fountain, and I say, like, we were looking for it, and it was kind of...
We didn't know what to expect.
What it was. And so we were like, do we be disappointed in this? Or, like, I was turning it into, like, oh, it's the fountain of youth, like eternal youth is in this park somewhere. And if you listen in this episode, that's what you're hearing over the... Let me play it. I'll just play it. Very softly, I added in this voiceover from that episode. And we did both think that eternal youth was in this park somewhere.
So this is what it's like with the whole crew in here.
Yeah. What does that say? What is that saying?
About the Fountain of Youth?
In the sun setting on a chapter of our lives.
I think it's helped us not like grow up in a sense, but like growing up in the sense of like where you start to have that attitude where it's like, well, it's just the way it is. Like, you'll find out one day. And it's like, what exactly do you find out? I think you just stop trying or like lose that part of like that connection to the part of yourself that like we all want adventure and like, you know, trying new things and like being connected with ourselves and like each other, and that can be like found in so many different ways. Like, it doesn't have to be camping in a van with your family. That's one way to do it, but I think that's like something that we crave, and like we forget that like this childlike wonder that we experience, like it doesn't go away, it just gets squashed down. And then if you like let it be squashed down forever, then for me at least, like I can like feel it when I'm like not like placating to that enough. Like I can feel myself like becoming this like wretched hag because like it's like I'm suppressing that part of myself that like needs to play and have fun and like experience the world and see the beauty in things around me, and not just be like a workhorse, and not just be, you know, consuming all this information about how terrible everything is around us. And it's like you have to go out of your way to, you know, like heal. You know, we all hear these things like heal your inner child and things like that, but like I think it's just so vital to do that. And like in me doing that, like, and it can feel very selfish sometimes, you know, because it's like, well, I have to do what's best for myself, but like it's so much easier for me to be kind to like people around me, and it's so much easier for me to be patient because you've like put your oxygen mask on first. So like when I'm not doing this for myself, it's like I'm like I feel like I'm like morphing into a monster, and then I'm like, oh, I need to like shut myself away from people because I don't want to be mean or nasty or like be projecting out these like negative feelings that I'm struggling with onto everyone else. And so that's like what this has done for me, is like been able to, I've always been pretty good at regulating my emotions, but I would always just like shut myself away, and I'm like, okay, nobody talk to me for like a month, like you can't come near me or I might snap at you. But like this has allowed me to be filling up my cup, and so most of the time I'm not snapping at people because I'm feeling good about like what I'm doing for myself, and I don't feel so far removed from like my soul that I'm like taking that out on other people. So yeah, when they say like touch grass, that can be like a real thing that can help just bring you back to yourself. Because I do believe that like most people at their like inner core, if you really, really, really dig down there, aren't bad or mean or like evil people. Because there were times in my life where I felt like I was like, which I mean, some of that was like projected onto me, because if I'm in a bad mood, you know it. But like I felt like I was bad or evil, you know, like you grow up being told you're like a sinner and stuff, and you start to believe that about yourself. And then you start to think that about everyone else too. Like, well, everyone's bad and I'm bad. And so like this brought me back to like, yeah, I'm really not a bad person. I'm not a mean person. I just need some fresh air.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. That was like a
That was good.
rant.
Having compassion without having any for yourself makes it incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what it is. How are we supposed to be kind to each other if we aren't kind to ourselves first? That creates this weird loop that we get caught up in, is you're wanting everybody to do something for you,
Yeah.
and no, you have to,
Because you're not giving it to yourself. So you're like,
Yes.
well, why aren't they doing this for me? Yeah, like we've all felt
Yeah.
that before.
yeah
But yeah, once I start feeling that like entitlement bubbling up in me, I'm like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go
Yeah.
camping.
The secret lies in contemplative leisure. You have to plan your relaxation just as much as you plan your work. You have to schedule out time for yourself, because work will always just take, like the work that you don't want to do will just take over completely, and then you forget what made you happy as a kid. Like that's what you were saying. Like you forget where it went, and it's like, can I just be outside by myself for a couple of days? I'm sure the world won't end, but I think that's what we put onto ourselves, is that the world depends on us never resting and never stopping. And that's kind of,
That's just capitalism.
that's what gets you a little stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've taken all these trips and the world hasn't ended. It's not us that's holding it together. It's not. If we all just chilled out just a little bit. But that's a crazy thing to say, because you know what, I know. I used to feel that I couldn't chill out. I used to feel that way.
Yeah. I
Okay.
still do sometimes.
I had so much
Yeah.
responsibility that it felt like I couldn't exist without responding to people's needs, to everyone around me. Like that's where I'm coming from, and I understand being in the position that everyone relies on you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do for yourself at all. But there is a way out of that. There is a way to slowly realize that the people that are relying on you, maybe there is a little bit of empowerment that you can give.
Right.
And it's like, if we all became a little more emotionally regulated and self-sufficient in that way, then we could figure out.
Then maybe others around you would too. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or, yeah.
But it is it can be seen easily as a very selfish stance to be taking. And I am acknowledging that side of it too. But
I like who I am when I'm being selfish a lot more than when I'm not. So.
Well, it's better than, that's what we're saying. It's better than lashing out. It's better than being perceived as a nasty, even if you're not. If you can think you're doing good things too. You can think that. But it's just, sometimes it's better to be a part of nature for just a little bit. So, yeah, that's, and then that's what I'm saying is the eternal youth is in this park somewhere. We can always go back to the place that made us happy as a kid. Never give up that opportunity to go back to the place that made you happy as a kid. That's what I'm getting at. That's a universal thing. Everyone was a child at one point. Everyone felt pure joy. At some point, there was a moment of happiness, even if it was a tiny little sliver in the corner of your room. Like, I've had that before too, where it was just like this tiny, tiny moment where you don't think anyone around you is actually happy with, and there's...
But there, you can find it.
Yes.
It's there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes you can, like, be looking for, like, you have to be, like, open to it, because if you just, like, go back to the place and then you're like, okay, now hit me.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like,
true.
it's not always, like, right there. You still have to, like, look for it. Yeah, like, it's not always gonna be there as soon as you, like, turn into the campground or whatever it is, you know.
That's true.
It's, like, can be in the, like, going down to the river and, like, seeing the little sparkles in the water, and then that, like, sparks something in you. That's just, like, an example, but yeah, you can find it. Speaking of things that, like, made you happy as a kid, I did write something. Yeah, so I wrote this as I was watching this video and thinking about, like, you saying, like, this is just, like, a family vlog type of thing, and then, like, seeing those moments of just, like some of the videos literally just me petting Dany and O'Malley. But it's, like, so nice, and then I just, like, could see myself very connected in those moments. Like, I'm actually, like, looking at them and, like, feeling them, and then, like, it kind of put me back in being able to, like, feel Dany's fur. Like, we don't have Dany around, like, she's not around anymore. But then it made me think of, like, I'll just read it now, but that's kind of the context of, like, what I was thinking about as I wrote this. And what if we were living and recording these moments for an audience outside of ourselves? We'd watch this back, disconnected from ourselves, not quite recognizing the shapes and colors before us. It would seem familiar and yet completely estranged. Who are they? No, we pushed out the audience so we could live, watch this back, and see the truth, our truth. I watched this and can remember exactly how Dany's fur felt between my fingers. I'm still convinced her fur was like no other, and she must have been the softest dog in the world. O'Malley comes close second, but it isn't a softness you can run your hands through. It's the most unique feeling of what it must be like to pet a down-filled bird. No one has ever pet either of them without exclaiming, "Wow, they are so soft." Their sweet souls manifested into their fur. I watch and can feel the love pour out of Dany into me and then back into her, gradually teaching me to love more fully and unconditionally than I thought possible. I feel Ethan's love as he watches all of us and the beautiful places we surround ourselves in. A love I may not have ever noticed or realized had we set up a tripod and a script. No, this is for us to remember we are here. I don't need for anyone else to recognize this for me, but I do think it's a wonderful thing to share. And Ethan has a wonderful talent to display, so we do. Our corner of the internet, a small part of our corner of the world, our sliver of life to behold. It's enough for me.
That's nice.
So, that's what I think about all that.
That's real nice. Well, I've learned the most important parts about this is just remembering the moments that we have with Dany and O'Malley, because that's the majority of the footage is just us hanging out. And I don't have footage of me talking about the park for Texas Parks and Wildlife or anything like that. Like I decided very early on that I'm not going to do that. Which, what is this then?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
I know I do remember being a little nervous about like this next part of like what we're about to go into, like the National Parks Extravaganza, which is like what I called our big road trip in the van. So like we'd got in the van, we'd just been to state parks and stuff, but then it was like time to take her off. And so we drove like up to California and stuff. And I do remember being a little nervous because I thought that I kind of liked where it was going because I didn't feel like this pressure of like having to perform or like, put on like read from a script or like make up a script or like sit down with a tripod and be like da 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 and stuff. And I was worried that we were gonna move towards that for the National Parks Extravaganza because it was like a bigger deal. Like, was this our chance, like our big break, like to break out into the internet and become like viral or whatever? But I was just like so terrified. Like, I just don't want to be captured by like an audience, and I don't think anyone really does, because the people that seem to be captured by that, it's like you have like a breakdown at some point, because why would somebody else be regulating what you're doing with your life and like the choices that you're making and how you're presenting yourself? I don't know. And it can work for some people, but it does not work for me. And so yeah, I remember being a little nervous about that, but we held pretty strong.
Yep. So far, so good.
Yeah.
But I liked what you wrote about remembering Dany's fur. That's important.
Yep. That's what's nice about these, is like being able to look at it and be like actually remembering like those little details in the moments that aren't even displayed. Like, you can't feel Dany's fur through video, but it helps me remember that and like remember just those like sweet moments and like why we're doing that, and that there's a lot of love between all of us, which is really nice to have. And I think it's a nice thing to share.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real nice.
So. Yeah.
That was nice for you to have read that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that'll do it for me. You good?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for watching, and go there, do that.